Welcome back, guys. It's May 1st, so let's see what I watched last month. So, yeah, I basically used Letterboxd to track, and I think most people do, to track what they're watching. So I thought it'd be a good idea to go and see what I saw in April. So I think it's about 21 movies. I might have missed one or two. I realised when I was looking through, I'll come to it. But there's some I've missed. I had to add them last minute, and I was like, I'm not 100% sure on the date, but I think this is the right order. Sometimes once the film's finished, I sort of just forget, and I'm like, dope. So the first film I saw in April was the actual 1st of April, and it was Ad Astra. So basically, obviously, I just watched Project Hail Mary. So I was in a kind of like space mood, and I was hoping, I don't know, to sort of scratch that itch. Unfortunately for me, it didn't really do it. I don't know why. I'm not really 100% sure why it didn't quite hit, because I know it's got 3.4 for most people, but I wasn't enjoying it that much. I just thought there's a lot of nothing happening really, and it might be. I think it picks up towards the end. There's a lot of bit of just Brad Pitt talking about how he's feeling, but his face is showing how he's feeling, and it's very weird. It was very weird. I was just like, it wasn't for me, annoyingly. So yeah, that was the 1st of April, Ad Astra. So on the 2nd of April, I actually watched this while I was working, and this is The Adjustment Bureau. So this is a rewatch. I had seen it maybe once or twice, but it was so long ago since the last time I watched it. I thought, you know what, we should give it another go and refresh that memory, you know? So The Adjustment Bureau, I actually enjoyed it. It was better than what I thought it was going to be from memory. It's very weird seeing Emily Blunt and Matt Damon so young. But yeah, basically just like it's one of those films where it's like something weird's happening. It's hard to explain. But it's a good little watch. It's quite short. I think it's like an hour and a half. Oh, there, 106 minutes. So it's an hour and 40. So it's not too bad. It does go quite quickly, and yeah, I just enjoyed watching it again. It was better than what I thought it was going to be, so I'm happy. But I do recommend giving these ones a watch if you haven't seen it before. So also on the 2nd of April, we watched Frankenstein. So because obviously I watched The Adjustment Bureau at work, it left the evening to watch something. And yeah, the wife we were just sitting there and I was like, let's go for it. It's a long film. I think it's like, 3 hours? So it's about 2 hours 40. So it's quite a longish film. Especially if we're in the week. We must have just, weird. We normally quite choose a shorter film for the week. But so I did enjoy this film. I gave it 4 stars, which is pretty much on the average of what other people have been giving it. And it was very well done. The actual Frankenstein was done very well. The acting was spot on. I can see why it's got Oscar nominees for like what it did and the costumes and stuff like that. It was all very well done. So this is on Netflix. So if you haven't seen it yet, I do recommend go and watch it because it is a good film. It is a good film. Just make sure you've got about 2 hours 40 spare. So the 3rd of April we have WALL-E. So actually I own this one. A lot of stuff I've been streaming and stuff. But yes, WALL-E. Great film. Came through on Amazon US, so I wanted the Criterion edition, and it's basically the same value. Like the UK, I don't know if you know, but it was really hard to get some Pixar movies because they're savvy exclusives. And then WALL-E's one of them. Ratatouille's, there's some that are just stupid money, so you may as well get the Criterion one. You're paying about the same price for this as you would just a normal UK WALL-E. But highly enjoyed it. Watched it with my daughter for the first time. She was fixated on it and loved and the colours pops and everything. So very much enjoyed watching this. Okay, so on the 4th of April, I watched Mike and Nick and Alice. So this is actually very unexpected. It was just I came across it watching. I can't remember where I came across this one. It just popped up and I was like, well, I'll give it a go. I gave it 3.5 stars, so it was a bit better than what I thought it was going to be. I looked and I was just like, oh man. But it was actually Sean Chandler his recommendation. I was like, well, I'll give it a go. And yeah, it was quite an hour and 40 again. So it's quite a nice, quick one. Just kind of remind me of that old school sort of comedy action film, which we don't technically get too much of these days. So yeah, it was good. And like Vince Vaughn did both his characters very well. So do recommend. So on the 5th of April, watched The Avengers. So I've been rewatching the Marvel films because I wanted to get them all on 4K. So now obviously get them on 4K. It's a good reason to rewatch them. Avengers, I feel like it's one of the first ones where you get like the comedy, you get the banter between them all, obviously, because it's the first time they're sort of all meeting up. It was the build up to them becoming together to become the Avengers, so it all pays off really well. And I highly enjoyed it. It was like, because obviously you got to get through the rubbish of something like Iron Man 2 and 4 and that to get to the good stuff. And this is a good one. So I would open it, but yeah, it's in here. It's with the other 4, 5, whatever it is. But yes, Avengers. So April 6th, and it's Do Not Look Up. This has been on our list for 5 years or 4.5 years. I'm not quite sure when this came out. Basically, my dad put me off and just said it's not very good. I mean, it's not far off, to be honest. It's not very good. Like it's okay. It's good for one watch. It's a bit different, has a bit quirky. Some comedy bits in there. End of the world stuff. You know how it is. I've got to admit, I'm not going to spoil anything. It didn't end how I expected it to end. That might be a spoiler. If I said too much. I mean, it's 5 years. 5 years. Just it didn't end it. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. So that was a bit refreshing in a way, but I wouldn't watch it again. But Leonardo and Jennifer, really good in this. Really good. So the 8th of April, I actually missed a day, is Send Help. So this is this is a weird one. I mean, Rachel McAdams is great in it. She saves the film. Without her in it, I'm not sure how much I really would have enjoyed this film. It is basically someone stuck on an island. It does have its weird moments. It has some gory moments I did not expect. So there is some funny bits in it. It has. I just don't know. I didn't know what to say about it. Yeah, it's alright. I won't watch it again. But I can accept. Yeah, it's one. I don't know what to say. I am sorry on this one. This one I'm just a bit speechless. But Rachel McAdams, thank you for saving the film. Okay, so we now have the 10th of April, and it's For the Dark World. See what I'm saying? I've got the box set, so I'll just grab the one. This is a bit of a bummer after the Avengers. You're like, do I have to really watch this after the Avengers? This one? Fortunately, I do. I don't want to say much more. I only watch it because I have to, in the sense of the story of Marvel. I would skip this one happily, but it's good to refresh your memory. There's a couple of good bits in there, but it's definitely one you can skip. Okay, so the next one is The Godfather on the 11th of April. So this has been on my list for a while, and I did have it on 4K, but you'll find out I actually sold it on 4K. It's not going to be a film I'm going to go back to watch. And if I do, it's going to be a long, long time. So I do not feel like I need to own it. I did enjoy it. Did it need to be 3 hours long? I personally would have said no, but I don't want to get shot down. It's a good film, and I am going to watch part 2. Yeah, I know I can watch long films. I promise, I can. And you'll see in a minute I can. But this, I did struggle a little bit. There's those little bits like where it goes up and you're like, oh, this is good. Things are happening, and then it goes a bit down again, and there's like a massive like bit where you just feel like nothing really is happening, and then it goes back up, and you're like, yeah, and then so yeah, I appreciate it. I did appreciate it, and it was for how old it is. It was a good film. But I won't be seeing myself watching this one again. But I can tick it off, say I've seen it, and get people off my back. Okay, so the 12th of April, we have Pokemon, the first movie. So my little one has been getting into Pokemon recently. And I thought, of all the Pokemon she likes Mr. Mime. And I'm like, Mr. Mime? Why Mr. Mime? You've got Pikachu, and you've got Eevee, you've got Vulpix. You've got so many cute Pokemon, and she's gone for Mr. Mime. But we won't go into that. But I thought she's watching like just random episodes that we can find, and I thought, well, I've got the movie. Let's put this on. So I put the movie on, and she enjoyed it. She was fixated, loved it, and I actually got it. Nostalgia-wise, does kick in here. I remember seeing this in the cinema, and it's what, an hour and a half, but it's really like an hour and 15. Because there's a bit at the end where it's just like a long outro and stuff. So it's really quite a quick film. But I did enjoy, and I'm happy to watch this. It's just nostalgia bait for me. So, yeah. Enjoyed. Little one enjoyed. That's all we can ask for. And also on the 12th of April, because again, Pokemon was in the day, so we got time in the evening, we put on Anaconda. And oh my god, I regret putting it on. There's no more. It was weird. There were some funny bits in there, but it did not save the film. It was very just everywhere, and well, it's like an hour and 40, I think it is, so probably about an hour and a half if you take credits and all that into consideration. I was just a bit like, there was some, yeah, like I say, some funny bits, but there's other bits I'm just like, what is going on? And it's just, it's hard, again, this is another hard one to put into words for me. It was just one of those words when you're just sitting there and you're thinking, what am I watching? And I couldn't tell you, I don't know what I was watching, it was just very weird. So yeah, I won't be watching that again. So there's a big gap now, and it's the 17th of April. And we had to put on Iron Man 3. It is the next one in the list. So this wasn't too bad. It's got a lot of Iron Man at the end, as you can see in the picture. It's just not as good as the Avengers or other ones, in my opinion. But it was alright. It was not as bad as 4. So it's kind of like a step up again, you know? But just over 2 hours. I feel like it just goes a little bit too long, just a tiny bit. An hour and 50, I think, would have been perfect. Because it was about that time when I was like, looked at the clock and I was like, okay, I've only got 20 minutes. So, yeah. But, go get it, man. Go get it to the next one. So, Iron Man 3. So, on the 18th of April, still hadn't had the Project Hail Mary itch scratched. So, I went with The Martian. It's done by the same author, and you can kind of get the vibes of that. And this was a rewatch. I had seen it before, supposedly. I did not remember it at all. But on the rewatch, it was good. Again, it's just it's about 2 hours 20 ish. And this again, I thought just a tad. It wasn't like massive, but I just thought maybe another, you could take 10, 15, just like around 2 hours 10 would be nice. It's just a little bit where I was like, okay. But again, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It did actually kind of scratch the Project Hail Mary sort of scratch for me a little bit. And Matt Damon was really good in it. He was really good in it. So, yeah, I mean, most people have seen this. But if you haven't, watch it. Definitely if you like Project Hail Mary. It's got the same vibe. So, 19th of April, we watched a Goofy movie. Now, this is an underestimated film. I give it 5 stars. I love the songs, just everything. It's nostalgia bait for me as well. Grew up watching this. Nostalgia bait. I really enjoy it. It's just such a fun film, and it's underestimated. It doesn't get a lot of praise. It needs a 4K or a Blu-ray or just something. And if there is one out there, I am sad because that means I've missed it, and it's going to be really hard to get hold of. But it definitely deserves a bit of love because it's just such a good movie. So if you haven't seen this, just give it a watch. It's an hour and 20-ish. And it's just, time flies. Time flies. So on the 21st of April, we got another little classic that I haven't seen before. And it's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So this one's just over 2 hours. And this one actually was really good. I was very surprised. It's such an old film. If you haven't seen it yet. All I'm going to say is the ending is very good. I was not expecting it. Because some people haven't seen it. I don't want to spoil it. But if you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth a one watch. I probably won't watch it again. But Jack Nicholson in this is fabulous. And it's very the same as like The Shining. But also I watched Anger Management. Not recently, but just obviously I've seen Anger Management. And him and that, kind of you get the sort of the vibe of how he's acting in that a little bit. It's not the same, obviously. But Jack Nicholson in this is fantastic. But there's quite a lot of good acting in this. Because some of the people are just like, oh, I did not, yeah. So it's definitely a watch if you haven't seen it. Like I say, I won't watch it again. But I'm glad I've seen it. And I can say again, I watched another classic. However, the next day at work, I thought, let's just get Mercy out of the way. I haven't heard good things. And I'm looking at my rating of a 2-star and wondering if that's too nice or not. The problem I have with this very much reminds me of War of the Worlds or whatever that Ice Cube one from last year is. They're both just looking at a screen, both sitting down, not really doing much. And it just feels like someone has asked AI, like, do you have any film ideas? and they've asked the same AI, and they've gone and made their own films. And this one just was a bit later because they put a bit more effort into it. I don't know. Weird, but I have nothing good to say about this. And I just don't understand how they got Rebecca Ferguson to do this role. Chris Pratt is Chris Pratt. And I feel like he won't do anything. But I expect to see Chris Pratt to pop up in random films. No. But Rebecca Ferguson, I expect a little bit better from you. So don't watch this film if you haven't. If you're intrigued, stop the intrigued and don't watch it. Go and watch anything else you're intrigued about, and then you'll forget about all this. So on the 23rd of April, I watched Cold Storage. I was tired and I was like, I need something to go to sleep to, sort of thing. Wasn't quite ready to go to bed, so I put a film on that I was like, yeah, about. Well, Cold Storage put me to sleep. It took 2 rounds of it to watch, and I just didn't really enjoy it. There's a very bit that just not a lot's happening, and I feel like so basically you get a little bit at the beginning to sort of give you the story. There's a big bit where just not a lot happens, and then maybe the last, how long is the film? An hour and a half. Is that it? Is it an hour and that does not seem right. So then, so maybe after like the 45-50 minute mark, you get some of the action and like stuff happening. Yeah, don't go and watch it if you don't have to. If just there's so much better stuff out there. Just no. Same situation, 23rd of April, trying to sleep, thought I'd put a film on. But I chose a good film, and it's called Game Night. So this is really good. It's basically just a couple meet, they get married, and they're all both into games. Then they have some friends, and I think it's every Friday, something like that. They basically have a game night. So their friends over. But this one, basically, Jason Bateman's brother gets involved, and it just goes a bit crazy. It all goes a bit wrong. Yeah, it's worth a watch. I do enjoy it. There's a bit, so maybe the last like 10-15 minutes, it gets a bit Americanized, as we say, where it just goes a bit AWOL, stupid, what the hell's going on, you know? But the lead up to that, it is good. It's funny. It's a classic old. Oh, it's 2018. It's only 2018. Oh, when do they stop making these films? Because this is one like the comedy, just classics, you know? Like one of these comedy sort of just films that I enjoy to watch. And I just feel like not really around anymore. But I thought this was like 16, maybe like 10 years old. In fact, it's only 8. Ugh, makes me feel a bit old, doesn't it? But yeah, if you haven't seen it, give it a watch. It's a good film. Okay, so coming towards the end of the month now, so it's the 24th of April, and I watched the extended edition of The Hobbit. Basically, the wife asked for The Hobbit on 4K, so we're going through that now, and then I'm sure we'll get to Lord of the Rings. So you'll probably see this one come up next month as well. I struggled with. I don't struggle. I just feel like about it. I'm not like massive. I'm like really need to see it. However, watching this edition, I think it takes 3 hours. So 3 hours, just over 3 hours for the extended edition of The Hobbit, and I actually really enjoyed it. It was a good film. It went quite quickly compared to The Godfather. That's how I, as bad as it is, that's how I like sort of compared. And I was just like, well, I'd rather watch The Hobbit. And obviously they've got to build the world and stuff. So just building like the relationship between the dwarves and the elves and how they're so different and why they're not talking and getting on and what blah blah blah. It was good to see. So I was happy I watched it extended. I don't know if I'd see it in extended again, but I can't remember it without the extended. So maybe one day I'll watch it without the extended and see if I need to. But yes, The Hobbit. Okay, so 25th of April, and going through the Marvels, we have now got Captain America the Winter Soldier. And this is where I feel like they've actually the turning point. I feel like they know what hits. They've got like the banter, bit of comedy, the action. I felt this was good. Very much enjoyed it. So first of all, it leads up to about what we know as Marvel up to Endgame. Obviously, it goes a bit crazy. And looking at the directors of this one makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I feel like everything's just there, and they've got the formula that makes Marvel good. So I think the next two movies after this is Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. So they're on the same sort of path. So yeah, I feel like this is a turning point now where Iron Man and Thor's are gone, and now you're onto the good stuff where other superheroes are coming in and building the world. So yeah, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, gave it 4 stars. Hits pretty well. The fact it's 12 years old is scary, but we just ignore that. If you haven't seen, the thing is though, if you haven't seen this, I'm like, go and watch it. But it's a good action film on its own, but you get more out of it when you've followed the story, know all about the back bits and stuff going on. So it's kind of a commitment. But yes. So on the 28th of April, I watched Hoppers. Now it started off so promising, right? So the Hoppers have got, I enjoyed the beginning and the build up. There's like a little bit with her family member and just how basically things go a bit wrong. But they've done the classic Disney Pixar thing where they sort of grab you and make you feel something. And then it just gets a bit weird. And there was actually points in this where I was like, is this for children? Because there's some weird bits in it, and you're just like, I'm not sure. And I'm not going to say, it just seems so, I don't want to say too much because obviously I'm not, people might not have seen it yet. But it's just, I feel like it had promise, and there is some really funny bits that had me laughing. But there's also some bits and just like, ooh, what? So I gave it a 3. It's not terrible. It's not bad. It's definitely better than some of the other Pixar films we've got recently. But I feel like it had promise and it was going in such a good place, and then all of a sudden it just got really weird. Okay, and on the 29th of April, this is the last movie I saw in April, was Drive. I actually watched this while I was working. It's a rewatch. I very much remember this movie very differently. I originally had it down as like a 1. I remember hating it and going, what have I just seen? Rewatching it, maybe I'm a bit more with it, but it was actually alright. Ryan Gosling doesn't say a lot in the movie. He drives a bit, but it was alright. There's a lot of people say it's a fantastic movie and it's one of his best ones. I'm like, it's not up there, but it was good. And it's just basically, I just don't want to say too much, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I won't probably watch it again now. I've got it fresh in my memory, and now I've got Letterboxd. I've got a little note to sort of remind me. But I'm I'm alright. Thank you. Enjoy. If you enjoy it, obviously, good for you. Everyone's different, but this one just is okay, and I will skip it. So they're the movies that I watched in April 2026. Good 21 movies, I think it is. I think I might have missed 1 or 2, but it's alright. We will let it go. But let me know what you thought. Any standouts there? I have probably upset a couple people with some of them, especially the classics of The Godfather and The Cuckoo Nest. But I tried. I did enjoyed what I've seen. Just not going to watch it again. So yeah, let me know if you like this sort of content below. If you did, hit that like button. And if you're new around here, please subscribe. And I will speak to you soon. Take care.